I mentioned a couple before, but I would say, as far as like groundbreaking musicians who like influenced my life, like David Bowie, Freddie Mercury. When I moved to the city, Lady Gaga influenced a lot of my choices in lyric writing abilities. Who else? Marilyn Manson when it comes to like intelligent controversy, doing things for a reason, not just because they're shocking, but they're also shocking. It's a good list. Was that 4 or 5? That's 5. I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, Motley Crue is a big one. David Bowie, Trent Reznor, 9 Inch Nails. Even like Johnny Cash. Just about, I pull a lot of bits and pieces from all types of genre.
Okay.
I could name a ton of musicians, but I think I'll just name the musician that would have been like a turning point for me for my musical life, and that would be the Bouncing Souls. When I was 14, I ran away from military school in Valley Forge, Pennsylvania, to go see the Bouncing Souls play at the gymnasium of Grady College with some of the other cadets, and I left that show a different person. I left that show knowing that I wanted to be a performer like these punk bands, and like Brian from the Bouncing Souls and Chris No. 2 from Anti-Flag were always very influential bass players. Just the way they interact with their crowd, the way that they perform live, the way that they all come from a humble background of minimal musicianship, a lot of self-taught aspects, but a very unique and defined style in their performance that literally, like I said, I left that show and I was changed forever. I wanted to listen to everything I could get my hands on. I wanted to perform in front of anybody that would listen. So I'd have to say they're probably my biggest motivation in music.
Oh, very cool. And in 2017, you guys released your debut album. And take us into that album. And if people haven't listened to it, what can people expect from it? Like, what does the writing process go into for Echo Black Song?
Sure. Based on all those answers we just gave, we took all that shit together and made it into an album.
Will it blend?
And I think it would do pretty well as far as like story arc goes. We wanted to write an album because I think we all come from an era where like albums were important, like, lyrics were important, and the story arc was important when you listen to an album or you put on a record. And we put there are 3 songs in there that are an intro, an intermission, and a finale, basically, who all kind of connect and tell the story, or allow for the stories in between those songs to breathe. And it kind of comes down to like a bunch of different stories from the same perspective. So it's different. It feels like one human realizing or retelling lots of experiences throughout their life. So each song is a different moment or in time of this one giant story. So it's super theatrical. It has like a giant arc that goes along with it. We wrote all the songs together. There was one co-write on one of the songs that we brought a songwriter in to help us with. But besides that, it was 2 producers on most of it, Walter DiCristina with MV Music and Axel Otero, who works with William Control in Seattle. And then Poison Apple and Chemicals were produced by Matt Squire. So those 3 humans, and Andros Rodriguez. So there's 4 humans.
Andros Rodriguez. Give him a shout out.
A lot of shit.
Yeah, he was
very influential.
Awesome energy to like throw into the mix.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And because those 2 songs, they came first, so we didn't even know that we were going to get to do an album.
Right.
So, but they because it still was us writing it, I guess. So it still kind of fit into the whole mood that we were in and the mindset that we were in, as far as that goes. And then we just kind of seeing what we had, and it built this, and it kind of told this story, and this sequence of where the narrator is, and it's this. It could be one narrator telling one story of or telling a bunch of people's stories or whatever it is,
right,
and from different perspectives, and it's I recommend listening to the album all the way through.
Yeah, from start to finish.
Like,
yeah.
but you don't have to. So that's
right. I think each song stands on its own. You don't need another song to place another song, but if you do listen to it all the way through, I think it does tell like a nice emotional story. There's songs that are joyous, songs that are regretful,
it's
songs
pretty
that are
eclectic.
furious.
Yeah, there's a lot of different
a lot
sounds
of genres.
and heavier songs, lighter songs, acoustic songs, long
Sonic
songs,
songs.
short songs, tall songs, short songs, fat songs, skinny songs. Right. But,
High songs.
All right. So you guys worked with Davey Suicide and Telly Smith and Word Alive for a couple songs. One of them was Perfect by you guys featuring Telly Smith and
Yeah.
Word Alive. Take us in that song and the video, and what was it like working with them?
Right. So the first, well, we did Burn with Davey Suicide first. That was the first song we were going to put out as Echo Black. We had been called Danny Blue, which is my name, for a number of years, and then we wanted to transition into being more of a band-focused project. So we wanted to take all the people that we had already following us on a journey towards kind of the sound we were going to get to as Echo Black, or what we thought we'd get to. So the first song we put out was going to like keep those fans, but start bringing them on a journey towards where we were headed. So we wanted to throw Davey on it. Davey's a super nice guy. Recommend going to one of his shows. It's like really theatrical and really fun, and everybody in his band is super nice. Nico's a great dude.
Yeah, we had a
So
blast
everybody's
when
really
they
cool.
came through and we played Webster Hall.
Yeah, and he was like super good to work with. We sent him like a couple. I mean, he was in LA, so we didn't actually meet him at that point. We wound up meeting him later. But during that process, it was like me texting him back and forth and kind of talking about what we wanted to do and my interpretation of the lyrics and what he should focus on and not focus on. And when it came to the video, we worked with a guy named Nathan Crooker, who is kind of like a horror movie guy, but he does like a lot of large scale music videos for like RCA and big deals like
Just
that.
did one with Pink.
He just
Something
Yeah.
like that.
he does Daughtry, a lot of Daughtry. He did Adam Lambert. So he's worked with major scale people, but he wanted to do something horror movie based. So we kind of worked out a script with him and what we wanted to do, and we're able to throw Davey in really easily into that narrative. But he was great to work with. When we got to Perfect, that we wanted to show a different side. It's a different kind of song. It's a little more electronic. It's a little less screamy. Because again, that was like the next step in the evolution of where we were trying to get to. And Telly is like more within that genre of what we want. So Davey was like in that Burn genre. Telly was a little more in this genre of Perfect. So we figured that was a good boost. Also a super good dude to work with. Super nice guy. Very fun shows. I got to meet him later as well.
Yeah, I ran into him on a world tour.
Yeah.
He was incredibly nice.
Super nice guy. Yeah, it's always nice when like somebody you look up to or are able to work with is like a nice human. That's always cool to hear and experience. But I don't know if you guys want to talk about that video. So we can talk about it.
What's that?
Perfect video.
I think the only thing I will never be able to forget is we had these.
Friggin'
you've
cold
seen-
it was.
Oh, it was freezing.
Freezing.
We were working in
Yeah.
a warehouse space in Philadelphia, and we had these guitars and like little ukulele things that
Oh,
we
yeah.
got from dollar stores, like little those plastic microphones with the spring in them that you sing into, and all sorts of toys. And I thought it would be fun to have Felix, the guitarist who's on the tour with us, smash one of these cheap guitars over my head. So
That
we
was a good
recorded
moment.
it, and he hits me with it, and like it would have went fine, except for right where the neck connects to the body, hit me right in the bridge of my nose, and it hurt really bad. And as soon as that happened, so I just hear, "Quick, get a camera on him!" Like all teared up. And so if you see the scene where I look at the camera and I've got tears in my eyes, it's very literally
legitimate
because I
pain.
had
Actual pain.
actual pain tears. I had just been hit in the face with an instrument.
Andy Kaufman be damned, we have this method actor amongst us.
But
Oddly enough, the girl who was in that video with us, who was like the leader of whatever like asylum we were in, is actually in his other band.
But yeah, it was really fun walking in. At the time, I was working for a yearbook company. I walked in looking like I got in a fight over the weekend. It's like just black eyes, both of them, just looking fucked
Mess.
up. And I was just like, no, I swear, if I show you the video, it might be worse.
It
but-
was for art, I swear.
But that's the fun little story behind how you can get me to cry on camera.
Hit you with something. Noted.
Literally physically abused me.
Understood.
There's no other way to do
Understood.
it. You literally have to break my face.
Since you brought up you worked for a yearbook company, what would your yearbook quote be?
You know,
Man.
I don't know what my yearbook quote would
Do not be yourself right now.
There's my yearbook.
Spell that.
Do not be yourself right now. I'll go with that. Because that's kind of how it is whenever I get on stage. Like I kind of like my mind leaves my body. Otherwise, like I don't know, I get social anxiety and stage fright, and if I don't completely like disassociate from who I am when I'm like in my day to day, then I won't get through the set. So I'd say that is a good quote for it. Don't be yourself, because you know, you're putting on a performance. Perform, act, be someone else. I mean, you always have to be yourself. But I heard a quote regarding Elvis one time saying that whenever Elvis was off stage was when he was acting. It's when he's on stage is who Elvis actually was.
Who said that quote?
You?
Springsteen.
Springsteen? I just heard the quote. I didn't know who said it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that's a very fantastic quote, though, because eventually maybe we'll just become that person. Feels like, God, no.
Well, it's performance. It's what you make it.
Yeah.
If you want to make it a thing, you make it a thing. If you want to make it you, you make it you. That's a great thing about doing this is there's really there's a few rules. Like there's a couple of rules, but there aren't a ton of rules, and it's not rigid.
Usually it's like don't bring outside beverages in the venue.
Oh, no glass on stage. Whatever it is.
Shit like that.
If you spill blood all over the stage, wipe it up before the next band gets on. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I did that actually when my other band, Gen Empty, toured with Echo Black and Cyclone 9. The first note, first song in the set, I slid into it and just literally took my fingertip right off.
I feel like that's a curse we have with our guitarists. They always do the thing that guitarists occasionally do where you like catch a string weird and then just keep having to play through the pain, so at the end it just looks like a spin art of blood all over their guitar.
That's why I wear jackets now that usually cover majority of my strumming hand, is because my playing style, I would come out of shows skinned from tip of my pinky to my wrist, and it would just be like bloody as hell, and like, you know, I cut my fingers up on a pretty regular basis. Like, yeah.
Danny's like, I hold the microphone, thank God.
Yeah. Stub a toe here and there.
You should see it. It was all black and blue.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Horrible.
It's awful.
It's like,
Oh, I fall. I used to wear like 9-inch stilettos on stage. I would fall all the time.
I remember the first show I played with you was at the bitter end, and I was watching you get ready because, like, when I first started playing with the band, I had no clue what Danny was or what he did. And it's like just seeing him get ready. It was my first real exposure to like New York City, and I'm just like, oh. Here we go. So I'm like, all right, how do I fit in with this? So I stood on the table of some of the people. Like in the bitter end, the tables go right up to the stage. So I just walked out on the table. I was like, all right,
here's what it is.
I gotta hang with this. Let's do it.
Never gone back.
Fuck that. Back is boring.
I know.
I know you guys gotta get ready for a show tonight. Would you like to give a message to the fans or where people can find you guys?
Well, first off, thank you.
Yeah,
if you're
thank you.
watching this.
Yeah,
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
Everything is Echo Black Music, so it's echoblackmusic.com. Instagram is Echo Black Music. Twitter, YouTube, everything is Echo Black Music. Super easy to find. Thank you. Yeah, listen to the songs on Spotify or whatever.
Spotify, iTunes.
Buy
it's
it,
all
don't
out
buy it,
there.
download it, whatever. Just listen to it.
Torrent
Tell your
if you
friends.
still use that. I mean,
Yeah, who cares?
If you come out to a show, come say hi because we're friendly.
Yeah,
We like to think so anyway.
that's what we look like.
No, like
We're nice people.
drop us a message or something. We'd like
Yeah.
to hear from our fans. We want to.
Where should we play
What you're
next? Where
thinking.
should we tour to? Let us know.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
Thank
exactly.
you
Always
very
looking for new places
Yeah.
to play. So it's a big country.
Yeah.
It's a big country.
All right. Thank you guys so much
Well, thank you.
Thank
for
you.
Madness Creation, Pure Grain Audio. So, signing off.
Fun here.